friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you've heard by now that Sephora recently had a 15% off like customer appreciation VIB sale, whatever they wanted to title it, event. Originally I wasn't going to like pick anything up. There was nothing that I was super big in the market for, but then as I was looking at the site, being tempted and looking at my favorites or loves list, there were a few things I ended up deciding to pick up, so I'm going to go ahead and share them with you. Before I share those with you, I just want to talk about the foundations that I purchased in a previous Sephora haul and whether or not I kept them. So, as you guys maybe recall from my previous Sephora order that I placed like without realizing it right before the VIB sale, I ended up purchasing 2 of the Beauty Blender foundations. I also purchased the like Becca Hydra Under Eye Powder that they had, and I purchased the Benefit foundation. I have to say, the Beauty Blender foundation I really wanted to like and I had so much faith in, but I felt like neither one of the shades I purchased were a good match for me, and I am not someone who is going to mix 2 foundations from the same brand, especially in the Beauty Blender's case, because that meant that it was going to be an $80 foundation, and that to me, there's just no need. Like, there's no need to buy a foundation that's that expensive. Granted, I do love the YSL one, and yes, that one is like $65, but I will admit, even for that one, there are so many other foundations that are cheaper than that, that are easy to apply, that have a good shade match for me, that I didn't necessarily feel the need to keep it. I also didn't feel like it had such magical coverage that I needed to have it. So I returned that, and then I'm super sad. I did also return the Becca setting powder that I purchased. I loved the texture of it. It made my under eyes feel so nice and hydrated, and I loved the feeling of that. I absolutely wanted to keep it. However, it was too dark for my skin. It would leave like a noticeable, like more orangey type of color underneath my under eyes. I've noticed that any kind of setting powder minus the Coty Airspun, which even that is mostly called translucent, is not translucent. It will be too dark for me and it will be noticeable. And even Ben at one point was like, "What's going on underneath your eyes?" And I was like, like if Ben notices, and he never really notices particulars about my makeup. Like some days he'll be like, "That's just a lot of makeup." Other days he'll be like, "That's so little makeup, I love it." But he never zeroes in on one part of my makeup. And if he does, that's a really bad sign. So as soon as he noticed it, I was like, that's it, I can't wear this, it's gotta go back. So I'm on the hunt for a similar functioning powder like that. If you know of any that are hydrating but aren't gonna show any color under my eyes, please let me know, because now that I've experienced that, I like want that real bad in my life. But now that's out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the items that I purchased. So the first thing that I have is one of my favorite cleansers that I have not allowed myself to buy unless I got through more of my cleansers in my closet, but I finally am at a point where I can purchase this. This is the Kiehl's Rare Earth Deep Pore Daily Cleanser. I had like a deluxe size of this 100 years ago and I freaking loved it. I love the smell of this. Like, I like this stuff a lot. They do make a mask version of this, which I have not tried, but I'm sure it's equally as wonderful. But I feel like for me, this is similar to the Biore baking soda one, but kicked up a notch. I also have found that Ben struggles a lot more with acne-prone skin than I ever have. He had it pretty badly in high school, and then it seemed like he was on the tail end of it, and then I'd say like the last couple of years, it's cropped back up. I think him running a lot and exercising a lot more definitely hasn't helped, but I thought him and I could use this together, and maybe, fingers crossed, it will have a good effect for his skin as well. So happy to have a full size of this finally. I also purchased a second of the Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation in number 1. That's what I have on my skin right now. I bought a second one of this because the first one that I bought, I loved it, and I felt like, oh man, I'm probably gonna go through this stuff really fast, because what I've noticed about this stuff is that it is a thinner formula, and I feel like I use a good portion of it compared to other foundations that I've used in the past, and I just felt like the bottle was gonna go real fast. So I picked up another one of this. I love the coverage on this. This to me is like a BB cream in its level of coverage, maybe like a step above that, but I like it a lot. It's great for my skin. I also grabbed the Tarte Poreless Mattifying Primer. I've been hearing a lot about this on YouTube, but I didn't know the texture of it. I thought this was going to be more of a texture similar to the Professional from Benefit, but it's just a silicone primer basically, which to me reminds me of like the Maybelline silicone primer that they sell. So I'm returning this. I feel like I can get the drugstore version of this for a lot cheaper, so I'm just going to go that route in the future. So this is going back to the store. I also grabbed the Peace Out Acne 20 Acne Healing Dots. I have used up the last round of these. They last me a really long time because I don't use them excessively, and I don't get breakouts too terribly, but I love these, so I had to replenish them, and I happened to just run out right around the time of the sale. I also picked up this super cute bag with makeup eraser in it. I have really enjoyed the Ulta travel ones that they have, but I'm really sick of how quickly I go through that in a single week. So I wanted to try to see if a larger size would be better for me. This was like their summer edition. I just thought the pattern was really cute. I'm a person who likes patterns and colors and all that fun stuff. So I grabbed this. I just recently washed it and I'm looking forward to trying it. I feel like this size will last me the entire week and I won't have to have like two different cloths that I have to rotate through. So I'll be curious to see how this holds up compared to the Ulta ones. I also grabbed another skincare item. This I have had on my Sephora Loves list for a long time. Then they put it on sale right around the time of the VIB sale, which made me nervous because sometimes when they do that with stuff, the people who are the like rouge status like wipe stuff out. So I was like, there's no way it's gonna still be there when the VIB comes around, but it was. So I picked it up. It's the Murad Clear Control 30-Day Discovery Kit. I have tried one Murad product before and I didn't really love it, but I was still curious to try out like a larger array of their products. And with this being on sale and this on top of the 15% off coupon, it was relatively inexpensive for Murad in general. So I'm curious to know how this works out. I also got some samples. I got one of the Monsieur Big from Lancome. Love this stuff. The Marc Jacobs little sample here, and then an Ulla Hendrickson Sheer Transformation Perfecting Moisturizer. So those are the items that I picked up from the Sephora VIB sale. I wasn't necessarily in need of a lot of things, but the things that I picked up are things that I've really wanted or things that I needed to replenish my stock of. So I don't feel too bad about the purchase that I made, but I'd be curious to know if you made a purchase or anything that you have on your wants list from Sephora. But that's it for me. I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.